Okay, welcome back to the deep dive. We've got your source material here, some notes, some excerpts, and we're jumping into something pretty central to how students progress through school.
That's right. We're looking at what your notes call the foundational skills gap.
Exactly. And the core issue highlighted here, it's students getting to secondary school, but they're behind.
Yeah, significantly behind.
Because they didn't quite get that solid grounding in, basic reading, writing, math.
Back in those really crucial early years,
Yeah.
your notes are very specific about that starting point.
And that obviously creates huge problems down the line.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about it. The curriculum gets harder, more complex. If you're still struggling with the basics.
You just can't keep up. Grasping new stuff becomes exponentially tougher.
Right. And your notes make that link really clear. The secondary school problem isn't like a new problem. It's a direct result of those earlier weaknesses.
Yeah, it's not something that just pops up in high school. It's something that wasn't really tackled early enough. So our mission here, really sticking to your notes, is to, quickly unpack this specific challenge, this foundational skills gap starting in lower primary, and then look at the solutions that your source material actually puts forward. Okay, let's get into it.
What's really interesting, I think, is how the source material points so clearly to the lower grades. That's where it says the gap often begins.
Yeah.
It's less focused on, say, fixing things only in secondary school and more on identifying that lack of early skill building as the root cause.
That's a really key framing, isn't it? It shifts the whole conversation from just remediation later to prevention and building strong foundations right from the start. So, okay, given that diagnosis from your source, what does it actually suggest we do? What actions are laid out in the notes?
Well, your material highlights three main areas. First up is a pretty strong call for significant investment in early childhood education.
Right, even before primary school properly starts. Getting kids ready on day one.
Exactly. Building that foundation as early as you possibly can.
Makes sense. What's the second piece?
Second, the notes really emphasize targeted training for the teachers in lower primary.
Ah, okay. So recognizing that the folks handling those absolute fundamentals, reading, basic math, they need specific skills and support.
Precisely. You need your sort of most skilled people right there at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and the third intervention, what's that?
The third one mentioned is setting up nationwide literacy and numeracy recovery programs.
Nationwide? Wow.
Yeah.
Just hearing that word nationwide, it says a lot, doesn't it?
It really does.
It suggests the scale of this problem, as your source sees it anyway, isn't just a few schools here and there.
No, it implies something pervasive, something needing solutions that cover the whole country.
A huge coordinated effort, not just, local fixes.
Exactly. So just to quickly recap from your notes, the problem is weak foundational skills from the early grades causing big issues later in secondary school.
Okay.
And the proposed solutions are invest heavily in early childhood ed, train those lower primary teachers really well, and roll out these large-scale nationwide recovery programs.
Okay, that paints a very clear picture, pulling straight from your material. So why should you care about understanding this specific gap and these particular solutions from the source?
I mean, it goes right to the heart of educational fairness and effectiveness, really.
Yeah.
It shows that doing well later on isn't just about what happens in high school.
Yeah.
It fundamentally depends on those very first years of learning.
Understanding this gap means you're understanding a root cause behind a lot of later struggles kids face in school.
Right. And taking that last point from your notes, that phrase nationwide recovery programs.
Maybe something for you to think about is this. What does the fact that a nationwide effort is deemed necessary, what does that tell you about just how deep, how widespread this foundational skills challenge might actually be?
Yeah. It suggests a problem that's maybe become really embedded in the system, needing something much bigger than just local action to fix.